I'm not someone who has the luxury of going out and training or playing whenever they feel like it. And so I really appreciate opportunities to move whenever I get them. My name's Gardner Burg. I am a kind of regular 9-to-5 desk jockey. I'm 32 and I live in Kansas City, Missouri. I found a real passion in triathlon for a number of years. I competed at a relatively high level all the way through college. But after graduate school, I didn't have 3 hours every afternoon to go for a ride, or an hour in the morning for a swim and then an hour in the evening for a run. I was sore all the time, and I just did not have a functional body outside of those specific sports. And I recognized that I didn't even like what I was doing. I felt like it was something I had dedicated myself to, and I just felt like that's what I should do. And so I went looking for other kind of movement practices, and through exploring all of that, found Ryan and GMB, but I really wasn't ready for it. My approach to fitness was still, how many calories am I burning? Is this gonna build muscle? Is this gonna keep me lean? I bookmarked on my computer and otherwise ignored it, and went through all kinds of other interests, traditional bodybuilding, resistance band, CrossFit kind of weight training, and then various combinations. And then ultimately, again, I would discover that I was just focused on what I thought could give me aesthetic improvements, and it wasn't doing anything for my functional capacity. And so about a year ago, I was feeling really frustrated. I thought, well, they keep recommending Elements. No matter who you are, when you're getting back into this style of training, just do Elements. Like, trust us. You're going to be glad you did. And I thought, well, this seems like what I've been missing. And I'm finally ready to embrace it as a training methodology in terms of focusing on quality of movement. Those early weeks are really hard because you're so excited. Looking at the summary, I'm thinking, I don't need to spend a week assessing that stuff. It turned out to be exactly the foundation that I needed to break through some plateaus later on. For me, of all the mobility that's required for this program, the thing that is the most challenging is getting into a comfortable deep squat. Now, that was the case at the beginning. I've improved dramatically since then without even really trying. That's part of the beauty of going in and out of a deep squat dynamically, which is what the monkey and frogger force you to do. It just naturally opens up those hip flexors through sheer repetition, mindful repetition. It slowly got better. And then to sit at the bottom in a deep squat and sit up and realize that your chest is fully up and down and you're not hunched around over your knees. It was pretty amazing. And it just did it on its own. All I did was show up when I was supposed to and did the best that I could on that day, and it took care of itself. I had to take a break of about a month in the middle because I developed some tendinitis from working from home and having an inefficient home work setup. That month gave me a lot of time to get distracted. I have historically had a terrible time sticking to programs. I get into it a couple weeks, I get bored, I get distracted by the next shiny thing, and I jump to that. And because of that, I almost didn't come back. I had never done a program from start to finish. And I just wanted to say that I had done that. And I got 2 days back and was immediately reminded of why I had been so excited about it in the first place. The muscle memory came back really fast and my joints felt good, and I had that really satisfied feeling at the end of sessions. It was proof positive for me that this is really what long-term quality movement training is. And Elements is great for that. There are times where it's real sweaty and the heart rate is up and it's intense. And there are times where I would find myself just going as absolutely slow as I can and trying to feel every inch of every movement and then feeling really good about it afterwards. And I think a lot of that has to do with the enhanced body awareness that this kind of training program creates. This is what it feels like to really be authentic in a focus on improving the way your body moves, not on how many calories you're burning or whether or not this is going to give you a six-pack. Also, it reaffirmed for me what I want out of my training. I want to be able to run around the playground for 2 hours with my nephew and wear him out and show him some fun ways to move around on the floor that at 8 years old, he can do without thinking, but hadn't thought of before. I mean, that's the kind of capacity and functionality that I want for myself now and for forever. If I hadn't gone through Elements and really immersed myself in that, I'm not sure I ever would have gotten to that place. I'm a little bit disappointed that it took me 32 years to get to this place. But at the same time, I think at some level, you have to have an amount of maturity to appreciate what this approach to training is really about. So for those of you that think Elements is too easy, I would challenge you to just try it. You'll feel such a profound shift in what you appreciate about this sort of a movement practice that everything else will just seem linear and predictable. You will feel stronger, you will improve your mobility, but what's really going to change is the way that you perceive what your body is for and what the world around you presents in terms of opportunities for moving that body. You're not going to get that anywhere else. And if you're anything like me, you'll never go back.